So I just received a new take on the Veshmeshok. And when I saw it on eBay, I had to have it. Designed by, well, not designed, I guess, but sold by 1790 Survival. It was Flecktarn. So I decided to give it a shot. And here is my original Soviet Veshmeshok for comparison. And there are some design features that I think could be improved on. And that's why the G-hooks are out here. Now, number one, the original Soviet Russian Veshmeshok, you can actually adjust the straps. And it's very solid and even provides additional loops for putting your cup or hanging whatever you want off of it. And it actually does not slip. It's not a bad design. The 1790 Survival, this is your adjustment. And it's actually a step back. If they wanted to improve this, I would actually suggest, instead of the Russian system, they could use G-hooks and a reinforced loop of fabric. And that way you could actually pull upwards to tighten your straps. Not that it's really necessary with a Veshmeshok, but this would add a ton of utility, or simply just go back to the old Russian way of doing this. And you can see here with the loop and the tri-glide, the metal tri-glide, probably aluminum, I would imagine. And that system works really, really well, especially with the way that you close up a Veshmeshok. Number two, padding doesn't really necessarily matter. Some of the best straps are wide. Case in point, the Molly 2 3-day assault pack has literally zero padding in the straps, but they are wide and they distribute the weight extremely well. And there are also straps that the U.S. Army used to use, strap pads that the U.S. Army used to use that perform the same function. I don't have one immediately in front of me. I'd have to dig through the hoard to find them, but they work extremely well. Just a heavy Cordura fabric, probably about that wide, and that would probably be better than narrow straps with a little bit of gel padding. I think they said it was gel. Don't quote me on that. And it would distribute whatever weight. I mean, I realize we're probably not going to be carrying more than 25 or 30 pounds or whatever in one of these anyway, but it would add a lot more comfort. Now, the 1790 comes with a waterproof liner. Not really sure that's necessary. You always pack your gear accordingly, and this is loud. Now, that's not necessarily something that I think should be deleted, but it does make it more difficult, say, if the stitching fails on one of your straps, to repair it. Now, I don't know if it doesn't feel like if these are reinforced on the inside with any kind of backing material, but on the Russian, let's see if I can do this, there are heavy leather tabs. So if there is no backing material on these, and it doesn't feel like there is, that is something I would add, some form of heavy-duty backing material. These things are theoretically, well, I'm going to use it hard, going to be used hard. So backing material on the stitching, better pads, and a different method of attachment. Like, even if it is just simple G-hooks, I mean, those are... I'm probably actually going to modify this one, to be perfectly honest. And that is what I'm going to do, is just use the G-hooks. It won't take very long, because that is going to add a lot of... well, I'm not going to say utility, but it's going to be a lot more user-friendly. I think that is probably everything. I mean, it is perfectly usable as is. Now, what I do, believe it or not, the old German pad makes a great backing plate. Now, the bottom of the bag is wide enough to take it sideways. The top of the bag, you can't get it in. So maybe slightly increase the top opening, and the 1790 Survival Veshmeshok is also about 1.5 inches, 2 inches shorter than the original Russian. But in all honesty, I don't think it's a bad product. I mean, if someone winds up with these, none of these are a deal breaker. Like, absolutely none of these criticisms are even all that great. Like, the reinforcement is a suggestion. The strap fitment, that's a suggestion. The pads, I think that definitely could stand for some improvement, as I suggested. But other than that, I think this is a great product. So far. But anyway, I hope that helps.